We need a producer.
Oh God.
Nugget of the night. Oh
Woo.
my god. Is music playing?
You can hear it.
No. Mm-mm. I hear static. I knew when you press play because it sounds like static.
Hmm.
We're
You
gonna have
can't hear
to.
nothing. You can't
We
hear
should
nothing.
send do the text. We should email him and say what's going on.
Yeah.
Huh?
I'm just gonna stop it.
Okay.
All right,
I'm
good.
getting my. I'm getting my. Yep. And then the static stops as soon as you stopped.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's up, KG?
What's up, KG? Long time no see, Shug. I'm getting my share. I'm used to the music going, so I got time to do my copy paste.
No.
What's going on, good people? What is going on, good people? We are a few minutes early. We are at 8:02, but we are having music moments today. We don't know what's going on with our track, so we're gonna jam in the spirit and keep it pushing. And welcome you all on in this room on this evening. We were off on last week on behalf of Love Day. Yep. We hope that you all took a little minute to enjoy your loved ones, hug somebody, give somebody some kisses and flowers, literally and figuratively, if that is your thing, on last week. And I hope you enjoyed yourselves. But we are back here in the seats, ready to scoop it up on this Tuesday. All right. So if you are new here, if you would go ahead and get comfortable in the comment section. If you have not noticed, we are already locked and loaded and ready to go. We got some of our faves are already joining us in the comment section. What's going on, mama? And we got our good bro KG in the building, although he's throwing shade for us being lovey last week. That's okay. We're gonna take that as a love tap. So if you would, in the comment section for the one time, go ahead and drop your city and state so we know where you are ripping from on this evening. That is our way of saying hello, what's going on, to all of the new faces in the place. And while you are hanging out down there in that section, we would like for you to go ahead and hit that share button. Okay, hit that share button for us if you would. It is so simple, takes you just a few seconds. And if you know you really like us a little bit, go on and jot a few words for the people, okay? And let them know this is where you're going to be getting your good conversation in for the next little few minutes. And we would like for them to join us, okay? So go ahead and invite them on over. All right. So after you do that, go ahead and get comfortable and get ready for a great show. But for those of y'all, y'all who going to stay, chill out, hold on just a minute, because we know that this is a busy time of the evening. All right. There's a lot of commotion going on in the background for a lot of us, and we understand. So you might not be able to hang out with us for the entire show. We get it. No problems. Okay. We got you on the replay. So go ahead and get your little phone together. Go and wipe it off real quick because you're going to be able to screenshot this next one that's coming up. We got options for the replay. Okay. So you can catch us out here on however you catch your podcast. All right. We are on YouTube. We are on Facebook. We are on Instagram. And for those of you who can't look into our beautiful brown eyes for the full time, you can catch us on SoundCloud as well by following these here handles. All right. YouTube at The Scoop Show, Facebook at Real Scoop Show, Instagram at The Scoop Radio Show. And again, for our audio only listeners, getting it in at the gym, getting a walk on, getting a drive on in, hit us on SoundCloud at The Scoop Show for your listening only pleasure. All right. So go on, screenshot that right there, drop that into the group chat, send it in the group text, however you get the word out to your people. And we would so greatly appreciate y'all tapping in for us if you cannot stay. All right. Or if you just want to catch up. All right. Those replays will bring you up on all of the current things with a little twist. with a little twist, because we get twisty sometimes. And yes, these awesome conversations that I'm mentioning, yeah, they're we love, we're some smart folks. We love to take like all of the credit for it. And if you were at the very, very top of the show, you'd know how much we appreciate y'all's help. Because I was calling out to the heavens for a producer, Jesus. We need a producer spirit for the scoop on 2023. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. But in the meantime, in between time, we got you. All right. And we rely on you all so much to tag us into those conversations that get you all riled up, get y'all thinking, get you talking, get your Twitter fingers moving. We want to know what those things are. All right. And we have coined this little relationship that we got going on as straight out of the inbox. Don't know. There we go. As straight out of the inbox. So whenever you see this image or the hashtag straight out of the inbox, or thanks to our good bro Dre, who surprisingly shortened something for us this time and gave us hashtag SOTI. Yes. And I was like, we didn't think of that. Okay, Dre. So, I appreciate our good bro Dre. If you know Dre, Dre gives us all the details, and he loves words. So brevity is not his ministry, but what he does, his ministry is sound. So we appreciate him for his words. There's enough folks being brief. Yes, enough folks touching on things. Dre is one of those who goes deep, and we love him for that. But yeah, we also appreciate him tapping his toes into the brevity pool and giving us SOIJ out of the inbox, however it is. I always have to type it out. But I'm gonna get it. So appreciate you, Dre. But yeah, so straight out of the inbox, whenever you see that image or those hashtags, go ahead and tap in and tell us your thoughts. And if we get enough conversation going on those topics, that's how they end up right here on the show. Okay, so tap us into the good stuff. We can't be everywhere, but I know y'all get down through there, so be sure and tag us in, share the links, all that good stuff for straight out of the inbox. All right, I think that's it. How you doing, bro?
I'm good. How you?
I'm good. It's been a more quiet week so far. The last 2 weeks have run me ragged, but it's BTMR week, so I think that's where this extra rejuvenation station I got going on right now, because Lord knows I shouldn't have it like in my actual person, but we've been pulling not 2 a days, but we've been doing back-to-back rehearsals on Saturdays and Sundays for the last couple weeks now. So I'm super excited, and y'all, we sold out again.
Of course. That wasn't even a question.
Yep. It's always exciting to actually get that final post though that says like we are finally sold out. We always know it happens, but to know it's done is always a wonderful, wonderful feeling. And this is our 10-year, or her 10-year. Listen to me. This is our 10-year. No, this is back to my roots. This is Lakeitha's 10-year anniversary. We are just blessed to be a part of the tribe and supporting what she's got going on, because this is absolutely her baby. We just the nieces, we the aunties and uncles and the godmamas and whatnot, but this is her baby, and we're so proud of her. So if you got your tickets, baby, get ready. We about to show out. If you didn't, I'm sorry, kinda, because we told y'all. But you want to be following hashtag BTMR fashion show. I believe BTMR 10-year anniversary, something like that. But BTMR fashion show is one that is consistent with the show. So on Sunday night, check that hashtag and you will be able to catch all of the live and the videos that get posted, because our audience is awesome with keeping those photos and videos coming for us while we are ripping that runway. So excited. Super excited, obviously. Like
I see. No, I'm kidding.
And look, I'm gonna be so damn tired. Come Monday, I'm gonna be talking about where we going to eat. Where's brunch? That's gonna be me Monday for sure, no doubt about it. How are you?
I'm good. I'm actually good. It's busy, busy
Mhm.
week. But every week is a busy week, so
Mhm.
it is that is norm. The busy is norm is the norm. So I'm good. I am good. How about yourself?
Good. We did that already. I'm good. I led with how good I was. Remember?
Today is so today. First of all, today is day 2 of no coffee.
Oh,
So
why?
it's
You hear me?
I'm trying to
Why?
I'm trying to trying
Why would you
to
do
pull
this
it
to yourself?
health, just trying
No.
to really, it's not the coffee is the problem. It's I like the sugar. So I'm trying to
Mm,
and so
okay,
yeah.
that
So
makes sense. Well, I'm proud of you.
day
That's
2
good.
of no coffee. Yeah. Day 2 of yesterday was I had a headache all day. Today it's been like a sharp one, but not hasn't been really as bad. So I just been
Okay.
drinking a ton of water and
Mhm.
yeah. So
Well,
we get there.
progress. Okay.
All good. We can get there. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's all good. So yeah, you did say you were good.
It's okay.
I think
I'm
so
super
for y'all
good.
who don't know, I literally just got out of a meeting 10 minutes, like what, 20 minutes ago to hurry up,
Yeah.
run home, jump on. So I'm like, I don't know what mushroom coffee is, KG.
A friend of mine was just telling me about that too. It is she goes on and on about how she likes it so much more than like because I'm a Starbucks girl. Okay. I am a coffee snob. I like a certain type of flavor and all that. So I was raving about my Starbucks and she's like, you should try this. And no, it doesn't taste like mushrooms. So she was like, I really, she said it's not Starbucks, but it's a good alternative and it's much healthier for you. A lot of the mushroom coffees have benefits for your cognition, the brain fog. There's natural benefits from mushrooms in general, but the mushroom coffee has become a really good replacement for people who are trying to pull back on caffeine specifically. And yeah,
Well, I need
I
the
sent you
sugar.
some links.
I think my thing is
Mhm.
the sugar too, so I got to figure that part out.
Yeah,
So
there's other options for sugar too. There's some different ways that you could have sweetener that isn't flat out sugar.
yeah,
So
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
we can
yeah.
chat.
We gonna check. We gonna check.
That's
We
a
gonna
good
check.
thing. I'm proud of you though.
I'm
I will
proud.
keep my comments to myself on the what are you doing? Because that's a good thing. That's a good
It's a
thing.
good thing, but it's still.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. You ready?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. We have a lot to talk about tonight. Not a lot, but it's gonna be a lot.
Like I said, I used to be like, oh, we don't have a ton of topics. Think we gonna be done early, and I forgot who I was talking to. Uh,
Mhm. I
we,
just know what we're talking about, and I
yeah.
know that's gonna have yeah. But yeah,
I
I'm ready. Let's go. Mhm.
All right, let's do it. All right, so this first one, saw this article. Actually, I saw it. Forgot what it was, but it's also on Black Enterprise. Black couple sold their 236-acre farm in upstate New York to developers for $13.7 million. So I saw a lot of people on Mark Zuckerberg's Facebook upset about this. And so they were upset because they felt like this couple shouldn't have sold it. So I asked the question, would you have sold this property? What would you have done with the money to continue to create generational? Well, the second one you asked, what would you do with the money to continue to create generational wealth? So, so just a little more information about it. So the couple bought this last year. They bought the farm last year for $8.5 million with a friend to serve as a family compound. So initially, their goal was to make the property their main residence, but then also offer spaces for like organizations and people like that to come and use the property. So for retreats and for other stuff like that.
That's a lot.
Yeah. So they decided, I guess, again after a year, the Alliance. What was the name of it? Hold on. It was Equity. No, it was another major company came and made them an offer for 13 million, $13 million, $13.75, almost $13.8 million. 6 Senses is the name of it. 6 Senses is one of the world's most luxurious hotel brands. Bought it. So again, a lot of people are saying they shouldn't have bought it. They're saying they should have kept it. They're saying they should, have leased it. We saw in the comments people were saying, why didn't they lease the rights, lease the land, things like that. But yeah, so I'm interested to hear what your thoughts.
What was their reason for selling it? They just couldn't fulfill what they initially bought it for? Or was it just that they got an offer that was one they couldn't refuse? Because it's honestly, if they pay what did you say, 8 point what for it?
8.5 million.
They didn't even really get their money back. I mean,
well, they got $5 million.
They did, yeah. I mean, but you know what I mean. Like, so
well,
what would be the?
Yeah, they got about $4 million back. A little before.
I mean, and it's mills we talking, so like that ain't change. Let's not. I'm not disregarding that we're talking millions, but if they were already in a position to have $8 million available to purchase this land outright in the first place, this ain't me and you that we talking about when it comes to purchasing real estate. So I can see where they're out now. I'm intrigued by the why behind this.
According to this article, they don't give one. What they do say is they had 3 other offers before, 3 other people or times they've been offered for this land before, and they said no. And they told whoever to, if you want to make an offer, make them a ridiculous price. Naming them a ridiculous price. And
this was the ridiculous price for their 236-acre farm?
That's what
in 2023?
That's what he said.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I don't know about this. I would like, I don't know if that was I wouldn't have said that. He really thought he ate with that. They really thought that was a lie. I mean, okay. So full disclosure for those who also follow us like on our personal pages, I thought this was a completely different story initially. I thought this was the Black Beach story from like not now. So doesn't matter when it wasn't this story. So my initial comments, which I guess depending on their reasoning is still valid, but my original thoughts on this were if they could not maintain the land for whatever reasons, because there's zoning, there's property taxes, there's a lot that goes into maintaining a large property. Especially if they planned on, when you said family compound, I thought you're going to build a bunch of homes for you and your family, yours and your extended to live. But when you added organizations and entertainment, all that other stuff, that does bring in quite a bit more government for sure. You've got to have more people in your business when you're doing business on that type of property to that scale. So if that was the reason, they should have just said that. But second of all, I can understand that. But if with what was shared, as far as make me a ridiculous offer, it sounds like they abandoned their original plan. And at that point said, we're just going to sit on it because it is 2023 until someone gives us some money. But 13.7 is not a ridiculous offer when you pay 8 for the land. Yeah. So I'm doing that.
They also said on here that he said they wanted, what are they doing? They have pursuing new business ventures that include launching a Made in Africa swim line with Target. So I think that I honestly think that this is this looks to me like they just didn't want to do this anymore.
That's like,
So
yeah, so let's just get our little money back. And they got a little play money left. They made
$1
theirs back and
million is not
probably
bad.
split you said it was a brother and sister?
Oh, this is a wife.
Husband and wife. This is a couple. Oh yeah.
But they bought it with the friends, so it doesn't say how much was
Okay.
the friends versus theirs either. So
Okay.
you know, I mean, if they made $1 million, $2 million,
It's more than what they started with, and it's $1 million. So
yeah. So
okay.
So I mean, I understand people's desire or wanting them to keep it. I get that. I definitely get that
Yeah.
because I feel like, especially now, I will say, and I know this is not only, but these are not African Americans. These are people who are Africans. So I think their perspective is not going to be the same as African Americans in the sense of not a bad way, but they're not looking at it as from the perspective of we want our 40 acres and a mule. Like they're not thinking like that. They're thinking, run me my money. And this is, we came here to make money. So I think that perspective is probably a little different. So that's why they're not coming to this conversation the same way that we might approach it. Whereas I think for us, we look at it like 200 some acres, we could do something. We, and then there's this, oh my God, we losing more land to them,
Yeah.
Now, and that piece is there too. So I think I don't think they have that. I think theirs is like,
and for them, they don't necessarily here is not home for them. So owning land here doesn't at all own the same sentimental value. So that 13.7 mil is absolutely feeding into their generational wealth funnel. They're not trying to necessarily, what they're building or creating here is for capitalism. It's not for anything really connected to.
Yeah.
And that's a general statement. We don't know, but I mean, I think that's a pretty safe statement to make that that's not the goal.
Which again, they don't have
nothing wrong with that. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
No, they don't have to. And again, we don't know. They could take that money and build wealth, build in another way, which looks like they're trying to do if they're trying to build a brand, a clothing brand, and stuff like that. So, I mean, it looks like they're definitely trying to do something.
And I mean, that's a good little chunk of change to start to do anything with a clothing brand. Okay.
Right. So,
yeah.
I wish there was a way we could continue to watch this because I'm very interested to see what they do.
Yeah. That is intriguing.
Yeah. So that way, we could kind of then get an idea of, like with when what's my guy's name? With the Shea when he sold. Remember when he sold, it was the same thing. The Shea Moisture guy.
Oh yeah.
When he sold, it was like, hey, I'm selling because I'm trying to do some other things to build some other wealth, and so he's.
That's what a lot of them do. That's what a lot.
There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not saying nothing wrong with it at all. So it's just I think that people do also get tired of where they're going in one direction. They're like, yeah, no, I'm out. I don't want to do this no more.
And once you reach a certain level of success, it does open you up to, you now have the ability to do the things that you once thought were unthinkable. A lot of these things that people are getting, like literally those types of businesses with Shea Moisture as the example, start in your kitchen. Those are hustles. Those are, that's work of love. Like you literally mixing and mastering in your kitchen, like pouring and then you progress into a warehouse and all of that. But all of that is a labor of love. Right. And a lot of the time they're birthed out of necessity. When you get access to money and resources, you now find the things that like light you up, and you want to do that, or
possibilities.
I might be good at that. Yeah, you want to dibble and dabble a little bit better, and you can. So like, if you have run its course and that thing doesn't light you up the way that it did, your grind don't grind the same, and it's more of a okay, let me do this, and yeah, I could see why somebody be like, I'm gonna go ahead and head out and let y'all right off into the sunset with this. Yeah,
I got it. I did what I had to do. I'm done.
Yeah,
I think and let me say this too, just strictly from a financial standpoint, like I think we are seeing prices start to go back down. So
In
I
what?
think for real estate.
Oh,
Real estate
okay.
prices. Real estate prices.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that.
They're going back down. They're leveling off. They're going back down. As interest rates go up, housing prices go down. So I think I think for them also, there has probably the possibility of have we tapped out the top of the market in terms of
right
what
now.
we get. So
Because I want to be done with this while in the dip. I don't want to sit on 236 acres during the dip.
Right.
Yeah.
So that could be a part of it too. So
agreed.
So, yeah. All right. Anything else?
No. I hope this will circles back for an update at some point.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Let's see.
Oh, this is the one with many, many words.
Yeah, and I can't see none of them. Hold on. I bet you I deleted it too, didn't I?
From our chat?
I got it.
Okay.
Says I broke up with my boyfriend over the Tubi commercial, Super Bowl commercial. I, 23-year-old female, broke up with my boyfriend, 25-year-old male, over the reaction he had to me over the commercial. For those who are unaware, during the Super Bowl commercials, Tubi, a streaming app, played a prank where they made it look like someone was changing the TV over to their app. I'm sure that in many households it caused chaos, and it was a funny event, but not in mine. My boyfriend thought I was the one changing the channel and began screaming at me violently, calling me things that I don't even want to write down. Even as I told him it was a commercial, he ignored me and kept blowing up at me and punched a hole in our living room wall. He eventually realized what actually happened and awkwardly apologized, but I was so disgusted over his reaction to a 15-second commercial. I feel like if you can't keep your anger in check and get that violent over something so small, I don't want to be around for it. We've been together for over a year, living together for the past 2 months, and I've known him to get angry at things sometimes, but this really took me off guard, and I can't forget how unsafe I felt around him during this. In the morning, I took some of my things, and I'm now staying at my parents' house. I left him a note telling him how I felt and that I didn't think we were going to work out long term. He's been messaging and calling me repeatedly. My parents told me that I'm overreacting since he had a bit to drink and the Super Bowl gets everyone riled up, but I don't feel I am. I don't think it's normal to be that angry. So did he overreact, and what advice would you give her?
You in danger, girl. No, she did not overreact. I think she reacted absolutely appropriately, and probably way more maturely than I would have. Probably, and way more maturely than I would have. And I would tell her, good job. How can I help? Do not go back. You are not overreacting. This was unnecessary and irrational, no matter what the reasoning behind it. Drinking, the game, none of those things are enough for you to be punching holes in my wall and talking crazy to me because you thought the channel changed. You know there's YouTube, right? And they replay shit 59,000 times during the Super Bowl. You're gonna see it. Calm down, sir. Lower your voice. So yeah, that would not have ever flown with me. When I posted this, my comments were basically, good job, keep that up, stay away from him, and her parents are trash. Don't tell them nothing else. Don't tell them nothing else, because that is not how a parent, that is not how me as a parent would respond to that. When my child is here because she felt unsafe. So yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine. Well, I would say they wouldn't, but I just thought a parent would say that after that.
I know.
It happened.
Yeah.
But I thought to myself, what kind of father would say that to his daughter after something like that?
Maybe one who punches holes in walls.
I could imagine. I just thought if that would have been my sister, I'd have been like, where he at? I'll be back. You ain't gotta go back. I'll be back. Like, why are we doing what? No, I'm not. We're not sending nobody back into that. That just doesn't. No. So the moment she said I don't feel safe, it's like, okay, let's end the discussion. First of all, I'd have been like, I think the other thing my question is, I wonder what other, when she said I've seen them get angry before,
what was that like? Yeah,
because 2 years she said they were together.
They had been together a year and living together 2 months.
Like, I really like, man, was that really the first time that he flashed on you? Like, maybe to that extent, but yeah, and that
or maybe it was to other people and not her, and she thought that was for other people.
Yeah,
not everybody pays attention or enough attention to that whole thing that, watch how they treat other people. Not enough people really. A lot of folks are really moving around here on that F around and find out energy. Like, they will watch it for everybody else and just, not me. No, he wouldn't. She wouldn't. Yes,
they would.
Yes.
They would.
So
yes, I wondered that. I wondered if he had made some, what level of anger he had shown before. Had they been, and then I thought, well, this is a blessing. Like, you got a chance to see this now.
Oh yeah.
And it was a wall and okay, so
not you.
And so, okay, like, let's move on, man.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I would hope that if this is a true thing, I would hope that her hearing that response from her loved ones would not discourage her from talking to someone about her experience. Because while, she left and she wasn't physically hurt or anything like that, if this was her first time experiencing something like this, and it made her move to the point where she had to go right then, like she moved around and she didn't even want to fully explain what all had been said, and fully that she told about the door and all that, but she didn't give a lot of details as far as his actual behavior and the things that he said and how hurtful it possibly got. So there could have still been some deeper harm done, even though she doesn't have physical pain. So I would hope that her hearing that response from her family would not deter her from talking to someone, a friend, a therapist, somebody, a journal, something, so she could be, not a journal, journals don't talk back, but someone who can reinforce her position and her decision and let her know, sis, that's what they talking about. You did what you supposed to. You got out of there and do not go back. Like, you did right. And yeah, because those are those moments. That's that type of head stuff that creates the usual how would she ever? I would have never thought she would be in that type of position. Well, it's because a lot of the times those people talk to people who they've got a lot of weight in. They've got a lot of, their word is bond. It means so much to them. And if they're telling you you're tripping, you're crazy, oh, it's not that big a deal. Oh, buck up, buttercup, big girl panties, all the things that we say, man up, all of those things that we tell people when they're telling you this, don't.
Yeah, you being stupid. You're overreacting.
Yeah. All that stuff that folks think, oh, it's just how I wasn't. Those things can be, when, especially if a person hasn't fully shared what that pain is or what that has felt like, they're trying to see, is this a safe place, a safe enough place for me to really show it? That can shut a person down and really send them in that self-doubt spiral of, now I'm in an abused relation. Now I'm being abused and I know this is it, and how and who and what, and that,
and why is everybody not seeing this? And then they're telling me to go back to it. Yeah. I you said earlier, I think you said earlier, we talked about the other in 2023, you can't believe they sold out. In 2023, I still can't believe that kind of statement will be made, but I know it is. I know people, go back to your husband, girl, and work it out. And this ain't an argument. This was This was violence. This man punched an actual hole
in a wall.
In a wall.
Yeah, that's not easy to do.
Grown man.
Okay. Walls, but that's still not an easy thing to do.
Yes, this is a grown man. So,
Yeah.
like I said, at this point in your life, sir, you got to have better control of your emotions than that. So, yeah, I agree with my mother. I'm glad she thinks she deserves to be treated better. Absolutely.
Thanks. Yep.
Absolutely. All right. Anything else on that one?
Nope.
Right.
I feel like we should flash that message though. If you know, or if you are someone who's been affected by dial da 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 da. We need one of those messages after that. Yeah.
No, but real talk. If you do,
I'm gonna have to put a note for a slide that we could put up after.
Yeah, like get out.
Topics like this. Yeah.
Please get out.
I got a design note. That one's good. We're gonna do. You said get out, and then I got the GIF in my brain for no. No, sis, that's not the way. Get out.
What you doing?
No. Yeah, well, no, she had that little grin on her face. No. Yeah. Oh my God. I ain't got no sense, y'all. Sorry. It'll make sense when you see it, but like, yeah.
All right, Q posted this one. Says, where we go? Here we go.
Nope. Oh yeah, you slid this one in on me. I didn't know this was one of the topics till I was actually doing the slides and I read it. I was like, oh.
I thought this was a good one.
It is. I just didn't know it was the one that you had chose. I just, I agreed and kept it pushing. I'm always good.
Yeah. Men and women alike have honest conversations about sex drive. What it's like normally, and under what circumstances does it change? This ain't the time to be tap dancing around the truth. Use your words, the honest one. This ain't the subject to be cute and lying or trying to keep somebody. Lying on this will be the way you lose your somebody. This isn't about obligations, titles, rank, responsibilities, purity, funness, etc. None of that. It's about your true desires to be naked and share yourself with another person. That's it. So the question is, how comfortable are you having these conversations? Have you always been this level of comfortable? Is there any other background, anything you want to give to this?
So I feel like you and I, and those of us who are closely connected to us, have somewhat been a part of and privileged to be part of somewhat of a social experiment where we have over, I know, what is it? What are we at? Like 13 years of knowing each other, something like that now, 12, 13 years maybe.
About right, yeah.
Yeah, somewhere around in there. It's got some weight on it. But throughout that time, we have dug into the subjects like this and those that create the scoop. And we've been a part of different Facebook groups. We've been a part of different pages and endeavors and different cohorts and all kinds of different things where these types of conversations have granted us access to many, many different perspectives on this subject, on sex drive, who gets it and when and why and how much and under what and why we think this way and all of that. So I honestly was just thinking, and I've been doing some writing on just random topics, and this was one of those things that I came in and I was like, okay, I'm going to post this because it's something that clouds so much of the other parts of our relationship conversations because we tap dance around what a lot of the root of why people aren't happy, why they're not satisfied, why they're arguing, why, what appears to be a wonderful, beautiful, what could be great on paper situation is not working, and sometimes why they are working. And you're like, well, damn, I would have never thought, you know what I mean? There's all kinds of different scenarios, but it often boils right back down to there's not been clear communication on the core root of a person's desires and how they're set up when there's nobody around, when it doesn't depend on who you are and what you do and what your title is and your name is and who's looking and who you think might hear about it. And, you know, the perception, is he going to stay? Is she going to go? Is she going to think I'm just out for this? Do I got to play nice? Do I do all of the things, all the pressure that we put on each other that it comes back in the relationship, because you can't deny who you are and how you like to function. You can play around a little bit. You can be flexible. Yeah, you can do you. But at the end of the day, you are who you are. And a lot of the times what could be very good friendships or what we call situationship, whatever it is, we make them into things that are much harder than they need to be, simply because we will not have these conversations. So this was one of my random, probably lunch moments that I was thinking and culminated on and finally got the right
words.
Yeah, the right situation. I could get it out without, you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
So first of all, I totally agree with you. Let me just say that I totally agree with you that it's a conversation that that we need to have and be honest about. I feel like part of the reason why it's difficult to be why it's difficult to be honest about this is because for usually for one or both, I think there's some things that like we don't really want to say the level of what we really like for fear of, and this men and women, for fear of that causing rejection or for fear of like something's wrong with us. And I think to respond to my own statement, because I think part of that comes because these conversations also usually come in very early or too early, I'll say that, in the conversation. So it's almost like we're going from, hey, hello, how you doing? Nice to meet you, to, oh, by the way, I like threesomes. You know what I mean? Like, wait, hold on. We missed a whole lot of stuff that happens that
I don't care yet.
that should make you care. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know you like that shit. Like, that's weird. Now I think you're weird. But I mean, we skipped friendship, we've skipped development, we've skipped other things that make that conversation a natural flow of, okay, if we're going to enter into this kind of relationship, now is an appropriate time to see if there's compatibility on that level, or maybe not compatibility, but there's at least some agreement that can be made. So I might not like what you like, but what about this? Or I might not be able to give you the volume that you like. You're looking for 4 times a week, 5 times a week. But what about, so I mean, I think there's those conversations come at the wrong time, and they come at a space where we haven't done the work to even really be having those conversations. And on top of that, that adds to the shame of, what are they going to think of me if they find out what I like? If we had done this work, then now there's already a level of care, there's already a level of intimacy, there's already a level of safety that's built into your relationship that says, okay, we're ready to enter into this space.
And if there's that level of intimacy before you get to that point, a lot of what you probably share won't be that surprising if the person knows you to a certain degree. It gets it's and you are absolutely right. We often do this much earlier, or we can share things about ourselves that we often wish we hadn't when we do enter into actual private intimate relationships with people, because now that one time when you were feeling yourself and happy and you was and going in on the post and you told everybody that you like this and you did that and it's all out here for public view, and now later on, knowing this person was engaged in that conversation or is fully aware of that, now that this person knows that and is like, is that what you do? So in a way, we have to also remember that we've got more access to each other than we used to. So it's not being fake. It's not putting a persona, so to speak, but everything ain't for everybody. just
Right.
like you. So like we got to be more careful with what we share, how, where, to what degree. And even outside of sex, we've seen it here. I've seen this shared in different ways quite a bit, especially over the last year or two, since the uprising of all of these, you know, podcasts and things where, yeah, not going there, but it's been the conversation about, you know, we're really giving all the ammunition for people to come in and just play with us.
Yes.
You know, we all the dear husband letters and, you know, that we write to the public versus the journal, and, you know, like all of these things, like it's so, we put ourselves out there because it's trending, or, you know, it gets certain attention, but we really, I don't think, pay attention to what that really
That does.
what it does, you know what I mean, and how intimate those types of things, if they are true, what type of intimacy you are literally giving to however many people have access to you on your pages. You know what I mean? And then to expect your person who is doing life with you and wanting to really engage with you intimately, to know that they have this access, and then now we've got to have the real conversation about it. All of this, now this person is feeling baited and switched, and this is men and women alike. You know what I mean? If you were playing a nice guy and I don't need sex like that, and I'm good for the wine and da, but that's not the case after the fact. Now she's like, bro, why am I, you know, this is what we said we weren't going to do. And now here we are doing it. And now I'm wrong because I said I don't want to do this. So it's the same thing. So it's just one of those, we really have to be aware of where we are. And then once we get into a new space, say what you need. Like, be honest about it.
I think to your point, it's called intimacy for a reason.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing that we're like, this is intimacy for a reason. So, so this isn't for public, you know, these conversations are for public. And here's the thing, if you are, and this is typically, I'm not going to say every time, but if you are typically, you are in a relationship with it where both of you have a deep level of intimacy, then not only is that safety currently going to be present, but because there is a mutual entering into this space and a mutual sharing, that safety can continue because you've exposed yourself in a way that you don't want other people to know. They've exposed themselves in a way. So that's where this bond comes in, where it's like, listen, I've exposed myself in a way that I don't expose to everybody else. So there's a level of trust that you should maintain from now until, and so that expectation should be there. But if it happens too early, we haven't built that. And so now
I know what everybody knows, and what's left for me.
So now I have to be, I don't have to be, I should be concerned now, because now there's no reason for you to protect me. There's no reason for you, you know, because there really is no intimacy, and it's just me. And it does now look like you just trying to get what you want to get. So that all, and it, yeah, and all that. So then to your other point, where she go? Q. Hold on, where she go? Oh. Hold on, come on back. I didn't do it.
In my lap.
I saw. Listen, mine was up here, so I know.
I don't know how. When I saw me go away, I said,
I was like, wait, where'd she go? But I was gonna say, I think to your the other thing that you were saying, the other part you were saying, is it's very difficult to be honest with somebody you don't trust.
Yeah.
So if you don't trust you and you don't trust the other person, then now to be honest about what you can and cannot do, what you want, what you need, you know, all of that gets much more difficult because now there's no safety there.
Yeah. And I think, and something else that I don't think we talk, there's a way that we just like generally operate, you know, I need it a lot. I don't need it a lot. I'm cool on where, you know what, but
it's deeper than that.
It's deeper than that, because as we move throughout the relationship, we are going to experience things that are external and internal that affect our sex drives. And I think we have to have an honest conversation about what that looks like when I'm mad, when I'm happy, when I'm stressed, when I'm grieving, when I'm frustrated, you know, all of these things, and they're directly tied to emotions. So yeah, we got to talk about feels too, not just how good it feels, but like actual feels, and how we show up during those times. I remember there was a woman who would say, you know, like, if I'm broke, like the last thing I'm trying to do is and this was coming from like the last thing I'm thinking about is we supposed to be trying to have, you know what I mean? So things like that.
Amen.
There's a lot of people feel that that is the stress reliever, and that is the thing that helps them clear their mind and get ready to get back on the grind and get on the hustle, which I can fully respect for certain. If that is how you do have to clear your mind, and that's the process that you do that, then you have to you need to express that, because that might be the complete opposite for your partner. And then like copy and paste whatever other feeling or emotion into that same scenario and talk that out. It's as simple as, like, if you want to get the little expression cards, happy, what's it look like? Okay, let's talk that out. Like,
yeah, I agree. I'm gonna piggyback to that. I'll add to it and also say, and if you don't know, because I think sometimes, especially early on, we might not know. Like, for example, I don't know how it will feel when I grieve, because I don't really, you know, I haven't had that level of loss in my life. So I don't know. So, but when it does happen, you need to be able to communicate with whomever you're with, like, okay, this is how I'm feeling, and this is A, what I need, and B, you know, how what you do or don't do affects me. I remember I was having a conversation with a couple once, and the person told me, they said they're telling me that the problem was not with they're like, it's the sexual intimacy is great. They said, but the problem is there are times when, I'm trying to, how I'm gonna say this if my mom will hear. There are times when I want them to make love to me, and they're drilling me, and then there's times I want to be drilled, and when I feel like this, I need. And I was like, and the look on his face was like, I didn't know that. Like, I thought because you liked it, I thought you always, you know, like there was,
it was whatever was clever.
No, but when I'm in this mood or when this is happening, I need this. I know I couldn't figure out a way to just wait. I can't cuss in front of my mama, but you know what I mean. So it's just that so he didn't want that. You know, she didn't, and he was like, oh, I didn't know, which created a whole different scenario for them, because then once he knew that, now it was like, okay, let me make sure. Okay, how are you feeling today? And for her, that was like, man, he asked me that, so I appreciate the fact that now he asked me that, or he's trying to make sure that this isn't what I need. And so he should, you know, okay, now today, give me the other thing. I don't need the soft touch today. I need okay.
And that's intimacy. That you help them create intimacy in that moment. And that's just an uncovering. I think we've used intimacy so much, it's become one of those words that it's like, oh my God, here we go with that one again. You know, like toxic and all those other things. You're like, this is not what this is about. You know, this is not the way this was supposed to work. You know, in intimacy, we make it much harder than it needs to be, because I think we've gotten into such an oversharing space where we think everything is for everybody. Like all of the details, they ask the question and I just have to answer. You know what I mean? So when it gets to the point of having it for that one specific person, or, you know, your specific group that you are closest to and you are the most intimate with, and then they're saying they don't really know you. There's not really a connection. I don't know what because what's the difference in me and them? You know what I mean? If everything you do, all of your feelings, everything has to be chronicled and documented for everything, then there's nothing for us to discuss. I know everything. You told everybody. You told us already. You gave us all of the thoughts. How do I dig into what's already on full view for everyone? What makes our connection deeper, special, more amazing than anybody that just happens to follow you? So I think that to Mike's question, how does a couple build and create intimacy? Dig into the things that are not in plain view. Ask the questions and look for and create a space where the answer doesn't have to be, and actually you're encouraging them to be not what you think. Tell me the truth, because sometimes we will pigeonhole our partners into a certain answer based on the life we're creating, the picture, the vision, you know what I mean? So, but create intimacy, I think, is best created when you get a chance to say what it really is, despite what we've already agreed to. Yes, this is how I can feel. It's not going to derail me from moving forward with what we're going to do. We made this decision. We're in agreement. This is our plan. But I still need to be able to be safe enough with you to say, you know, I don't like this shit, right? I'm with you, but
yeah,
I'm struggling over here and I'm gonna need a minute, or I'm afraid of this. I'm a thug it out, but I am not comfortable. Like I am scared, and I need you to give me a little grace right now, because you think I'm super. I'm not feeling so super. I'm feeling kind of tiny in the moment. Like those types of where you can know that person. Oh man, I need you to, man, I don't need you to punk out on me right now. Like right now, I need you to put your game face on. Like those types of okay. All right, yep, let's go.
yeah.
I won't be telling you that no more. You know what I mean? Those are that's the time where you can try and, you know, give that bubble. Your person should have a bubble with you.
I would say this. So to give a clinical answer, the clinical answer would be: you create deep friendship, you come up with a shared way that you and your person manage conflict, and you have shared that you create shared experiences that have a single meaning for your relationship.
Single meaning. Say more about what you mean by and has a single meaning for your relationship.
So single meaning means anything. We can go through. Let's use grief. All right, let's use somebody passing. So we go through this experience of somebody passing, and because of our friendship and how we process what happened, you understand how I grieve. Now I understand how you grieve, and so we now have a communication and understanding of how grieving looks like. Grieving has its own meaning for us that looks different, that might look different, we don't know, to somebody else.
Okay.
But we've got this shared thing now that
this is our way.
This is our way of doing it. And so now, because we have our way, we've established our own thing in the area of grief. Now we create a deeper level of intimacy because now we have our thing.
Got you. Okay. Thank you for that. Okay. It's good. See what I said, y'all? That's what I said.
I just gave the clinical answer. Yeah.
I'm playing with you.
That's funny. But I think, to your point too, the other aspect of this is these conversations have to be ongoing.
Yeah.
Because as we know, like, the one thing I liked about your post is your post also went through several different factors or phases, or so to speak, of life. Like, as a person goes through different phases, their needs are going to change. And so to establish early on in the relationship that this is that there is safety to have this conversation, to express needs, to express differences, to express, hey, this is how I'm feeling right now. I know this ain't cool, but this is how I'm feeling, or I know this is outside the bounds of our relationship, but this is really kind of what I'm feeling right now. Like, to be able to do that early is good, because then as changes happen, kids, Again, we talked about some, loss of a parent,
Mhm.
kids leaving, loss of a job, what ladies go through midlife when you go through your menopause. That's the word I'm looking for.
Oh, I
Menopause.
was like, okay, we're gonna see where you're going with this.
Menopause, or all of the men when we go through our
Yep.
thing, when
Yep.
our testosterone drops, and we can't, like, when you go through all of these different phases together, you have to now be able to say, hey, I might need some blue chews now. I might, I could go to the gas station. Don't go to the gas station, y'all, by the way.
Don't, yeah, because we want your heart to work. Skip that, please.
But
yeah.
you know what I mean? But or she might need, hey, I might need this because now that I'm in this phase of life, like, y'all done heard it all. Like,
it's the truth though. Like, we have to
have conversations. And
we have so much weighing on this right now because we're in such a trade them up, move them around, get what you want. It's always the FOMO. Right now, and or just I'm gonna move on. You know what I mean? And it makes people feel as though they've got to fit a certain mold to make it out here in a relationship, which is why I listed some of those adjectives that we like to attach to ourselves and the reasoning as to why we present in the ways that we do. You know what I mean? I've seen some women who I know intimately, not intimately, that was the wrong word for the subject that we're talking about, but I'm very close to, that have, I've seen, projecting and pretty much performing, in social settings. And I know good and well that that's not who they are, but it is who they think the people that they want to attract are. I need to look like this. I need to say these things. I need to look, say I like these things and go these places and this is my jam and all that, because that's what it looks like. And it happens a lot because we're so open now with our sexual conversations. So there's a lot of pressure, and men and women both. Some men, a lot of men don't need sex every minute of every day, and every time the wind blows they want to jump up and down. There are men, but you would not know that because it's not cool for a man to say, I mean, I'm cool with, every other, I don't need, I'm good. And whatever the number might be, because I didn't seen some crazy things from one end to the other, you know what I mean? But we don't give each other the space to do that because we talk about all of these very personal, individual things in the public. So, we have to, and by the time you actually do get ready to be naked with somebody, you don't know who you want to be. Like, I don't know. Do I do what? Okay. So like, do I do all the things I said on the post now, or are we supposed to wait to a certain point and then I'm gonna be a hoe if I do it now, but then I'm look like wifey if I wait a couple months, and like, it's stupid. So like, get in touch with your star player. You first must have this very hard conversation with yourself, okay? And figure out, especially now when we got all these other things coming at us about what we should look like and who we should be, and all of how the best fish looks, and how the most masculine, high value, like all of. Sit down, look at you. If you got to get into the mindset, strip naked, look at yourself and say, in this space, what do I look like? What do I want? What makes me feel good when I'm here? And like really connect to that. And then that's the type of energy you move in those conversations with the people who are blessed enough to actually experience you naked. And I think that coupled with all of the pre-work we spoke about is going to set you up much better than.
Because if you don't do that for yourself, it's not going to matter.
No, you're open to all interpretation. Whoever you talking to at the time is going to be able to determine who's driving your car, and you take your keys back. Like, take your keys back for a minute. Park it. But you've got to have the conversation, because I think that's how we're often wasting a lot of time and in the good and bad way, wasting time with the people that we shouldn't be fooling around with. And then we're wasting a lot of time where we could be loving our partners much better because we are hoping they figure it out one day, or you figure it out one day. And
Listen, not getting it right in that area
is rough. It's rough. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It can have really a lot of effects long term.
Yep.
Yeah. Who's some of the stories? All right. Anyway, anything else?
We've had a long time to be having this type of conversation with so many different people: married, divorced, single, separated, gay, straight.
It's tough.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Some really traumatic conversations around this, and because, yeah. Anyway, let's keep going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So y'all marinate on that. We might circle back to something like it here another show. But yeah, this one was dropped in my spirit. I'm glad it moved you. Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Mm-hmm. He's on down the road.
All right, so Riri and what's this, ASAP Rocky? Is that his name?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Riri and Rocky.
And ASAP Rocky were on the cover of Vogue magazine. And as you can see by the markings on it, there were some issues. Some people had issues with this cover, saying that it was emasculating ASAP Rocky by having him in the back, and he's small and he's holding the baby. And as you can see, it says he's a submissive, nurturing, feminine man. She is the strong, dominant, masculine woman. She is the leader. He is the follower. Hard face, soft face. Yeah, so they had some issues with this image. And today, I don't know if you saw Q, but there was even some people who put up some other magazine cover. Did you see that with other magazines? Because of course the problem with this one is they only do this to black men and black women. The covers with the white men and the white women, and apparently Kim and Kanye West too. Would never do that to white men, only that to black men. And so people have an issue with this. So I'm interested. I already know what your thoughts are, but I can tell by the way that you're rolling your eyes.
I should have started this one like this. Literally should have. You should just. Now this would have been a great time for my camera to go off. Like during this situation.
No, I think the people need to see your eye roll.
We could have a reel of just my eye rolls over the years. Easy.
Absolutely. Go ahead. What's your thoughts?
First of all, congratulations to Rihanna and ASAP on the announcement of their second beautiful brown bundle that is coming. That is what also was announced after her Super Bowl performance on Sunday. This dropped. The Super Bowl performance was Sunday. I think this came out like Tuesday or something like that. It was a couple days after the Super Bowl is when this article debuted, and the people went cray. They was already mad, and she was the topic of conversation from the performance. Mm-hmm. And then this dropped, and oh my God, they lost their mind. Like they lost their minds. So first of all, I think this is the silly as hell. The way that we have dissected these images, this image specifically, but the images. Vogue is a female targeted and supported magazine. Vogue has always been big on promoting women who are the firsts, who are bosses, who are killing it in whatever it is that they're doing. For all intents and purposes, Rihanna fits that bill. The article was about her, her next chapter, her family, motherhood, her next phase, all of the transitions. Okay. And she is doing amazing things again. So the fact that she decided to bring, to say, I want to share this cover moment with my entire family, I thought was beautiful. It's beautiful. And I didn't, if we're going to dissect the image and look for it as far as what are we seeing in this, I'm seeing, if anything, if we're going to talk about positioning and all of that, that's my girl. I got her. She's killing it right now. And I'm back here with my beautiful son, who I am blessed to have. She gave me this son that I have here, and I'm going to be here rocking with her. I got you, babe. My hand is in your hand. We're here. And like they're walking. So like him slouching and being smaller, like it's called perspective. It's called movement. People can walk and chew gum at the same time. They can also walk and take pictures. This is kind of what this was. So like I don't get it. I think this is silly. To your second point, because I'm gonna not harp on this too long because I can soapbox this. The image with the covers of all of the other Vogue covers. So I actually Googled and looked at the like blown up pictures of these covers. Okay. So the images, the covers, the stories, the purpose of the people being on the covers of said Vogue magazines were generally related to the work that the couple was doing together, the awesomeness that the couple had created in that time that made them cover worthy. So yes, they were there side by side, shoulder to shoulder, looking as equals because they had equal accomplishments in said moments. The husbands weren't just bringing their wives along for the cute pics. That wasn't what it was. Otherwise, it would be just them on the cover, which happens all the time. Okay.
Vogue.
Would
Vogue is not a men's magazine, but that's nevertheless.
So when they're there in the first place, they're there for a reason. Okay. ASAP's reason this time was support. Is that bad now? That this one time of all the pictures where she's damn near been swinging on his genitals, okay? Because this is my man, okay? Looking mushy-eyed and googly-eyed and oh my God. We was talking about how crazy she was because why ASAP? And why she looking like this over this dude? Like we were just having this conversation with she and now she was pregnant. So like it kills me now that this one photo comes out where in her actual moment of shining, we're now making it about the dude who ain't really released the album. He did a single not too long ago, but it was about her.
What?
So he's not actually creating something current to be side by side with her other than children. So at this moment, right now, his position as her partner is exactly where he needs to be. And she is happy as hell for him to be in that space. And he seems pretty damn excited to be there. And I don't think ASAP is an emasculate man in any capacity. Have you ever seen this man talk? Have you ever seen the way women flock behind this dude? He is a gorgeous brown man. And women, he has energy. I don't care if he paints his nails, if he wears a skirt, that man has energy that has got this bitch, okay, popping out babies within a 24-month period. Okay, the baby ain't blew out his first damn birthday candle, and this bitch's belly is big again. Okay, ASAP is good over here. We should shh about ASAP and Riri and what they doing in the dark because they got it covered. Okay, like covered. Okay, so this entire thing, the fact that we have given this the energy that we have and the way that we're going back and forth and making the thing that it's not, this is not, a lot of the things are what we're talking about. This is not that.
Yeah, this is, I don't see this as I don't see this as emasculating.
No.
I don't see this emasculating. I think it's a bit much. I do see this as I'm just gonna be honest with you. I don't really put a whole lot. I'm just like, oh, it's a picture. Let's move on. That's really why I was like, oh, it's a picture. Okay, all right. He's got the kids. Not a big deal. But I will also admit, when I look at this, I see Rihanna is top 5. Let's call it top 5 of women and men stars in the industry. ASAP Rocky doing his thing, but Rihanna's like billionaire musician, like Fenty,
Mogul, all of that.
like. So I didn't see this as, again, first of all, it's Vogue. So I knew this is
it ain't for y'all. No man reads Vogue to feel masculine. But anyway.
Sports Illustrated, it's not, but I didn't feel like this isn't men's magazine, so I didn't feel like that at all. I just thought, okay. But again, I entered into it thinking she's a billionaire. He's a millionaire. So financially, okay. But even still, I don't see anything about this that says she's older than him too, isn't she? Like by several years, if I remember correctly too. Yeah, I thought about that too. Like still don't see that as emasculating. I saw that more as she's ahead of him in life, financially and in her career, which is not a problem. I don't think
she's gonna be in that position for most men that she dates at this point.
She's gonna be in that position with every man she dates.
So if there's something about this man that, with all of that being true, she still manages to become who she becomes, who we've seen her become for him.
Yeah, I don't.
We're creating a narrative that they're obviously showing is not here. I
don't know. I mean, we don't. I mean, they're showing what they show, what the reality. We don't know. But I'm just saying, I don't see nothing about it that makes it, and I don't think the picture says anything about. Just like I don't think her financial status determines her masculine. We're beyond that. But at the same time, I think you have to honor the fact that Rihanna's has been doing the thing, and she is a global star, and he's getting there.
Yep,
that's it.
All of those things are absolutely true, but had little to no bearing on what I saw initially in this.
I didn't see nothing,
because I think I probably pay more attention. I'm a Rihanna fan. Did not pay much attention to ASAP until he got with Rihanna.
I still don't pay attention to ASAP. I'm just gonna be honest.
Yeah, he was pretty, and he had a couple bops that I listened to every once in a while, but I had not sought out, and I still haven't sought out ASAP's music. But what I can say is, with all that we have learned about what he's been through, with his charges and all the back and forth, she could have easily been cool on it and been on about her business, and nobody would have ever said nothing at all. So that's what I'm saying. We don't know. When you say we don't know, of course we don't know. She's not doing the video reels and showing, us the play-by-play. She's actually quite private, similar to our good sis Bay, as far as her personal life. But what we know, one thing about her, she's hella honest, and she don't bite her tongue for much of nobody. Sis does know how to move around when she's not being loved well. She's shown us that time and time again. Sis has left billionaires on red and moved on around and been popped out naked on the beach in no time. Okay, sis don't lose no sleep when it comes to love. She will move right on down through there. She's here. She's visibly showing us that she's happy, giggling, grinning from ear to ear. This bitch is literally floating, skipping down through. When we see her, she's legit on her tippy toes. She's happy right now.
Happy.
Yeah. So I mean, I just don't. Why will we just not let her be happy? Why will we just not let, and I'm going to be on a generalization, but we just need to let Black women, when they do find a snatch of it, when they do happen to lasso that ish in, just let it be for a minute. Just let it be for a minute. If it's going to fit, let it do it's going to do what it's going to do if it's just doomed. But while it's good, let it be good. Damn. Yeah. Just let it be good and leave them alone. It ain't enough. that's already in the way? Like, we need this too? Like, damn. She just got off the Super Bowl stage and like quadrupled every number that possibly could have been done for her within a 48 to 72 hour period. And we talking about the fact that her man is behind her on the cover of Vogue.
Well, we also talked about that she was a devil. She had devil music too, so you forgot about that.
Everybody's a devil right now. If you ain't praising God and throwing your shoes into the crowd, you a devil right now.
She wore red, and yeah.
She was marching up to the heavens and coming back down with that.
No, she was down. No, it was other stuff, but
I saw the levels indicated that she was casting angels down, and it was being back with the white dancers with the angels being cast down. And
I left that conversation after. I was like, all right, y'all doing too much. So anyway, but I think this speaks to the greater issue, which is the second half of the discussion, which is this consistent, constant feeling of power struggle in our relationships. And so I posted the question, like, why is this? Why does it seem like there's just this constant power struggle between men and women why? What are we fighting over? What are we struggling about? What's the thing that's happening in us that causes us to, anytime and we're both doing it, anytime we see that we don't really want to enter into any kind of meaningful, healthy partnership with one another.
We have a trauma bond with power. Our people have a trauma bond with power because we do not have any real power. And the people who have been given us power throughout our lives, the power influences that we've had have been the people who love us. And sometimes they abuse it until we get into a workspace. And power has been guidance. And a lot of times our leaders have the power. And for a lot of us, by the time we reach adulthood and we recognize that the only thing that I have the power over are the people that I literally can reach out and touch. And I'm doing power. I didn't do it first, but power over. So then we seek and prioritize showing just how much we have because we really don't see it show up anywhere else. So we bonded with what we think it gives us to have all of this power, whether it be in relationships, work, or whatever. But relationships are the things that we can control the easiest. The boss can tell us we can't have this job anymore. You know what I mean? They can change the law and I can't go here anymore. This thing and I no longer, there's always someone with more power in these positions that we just can't quite ever seem to really get a wrestle on. But when it comes to these relationships, I pick and choose who comes and goes out of here. I put in on this. So this is me. I'm in control of what runs here. So if I'm not getting enough of it out here, and then I come in here, and now you want to say what you gonna do and what you ain't gonna do and what you expect me to do too. Oh, wait. And we can't fight the power.
Yeah.
So, but I can fight you. You right here. I can reach out and touch you.
Yeah.
And when we argue, when we fight, when we have discourse, there's actual results that can be here. We can see the effects in real time or the rewards in real time of whatever this does. Rewards, because just because I get to puff my chest because I won doesn't necessarily give us a reward, but it feels immediate. I'm gratified because I got what I wanted out of this, but I'm still going back out here. Back and forth, because we're not the end. This is my non-clinical, but probably bigger than the actual question response to this. Because when you really get down to it, we're not really arguing. We all got to eat. We both live here. We got to take care of these bills regardless. We still have to build this life. If we're not doing, who's the generation if we're not doing it together for all this wealth to be built within? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So like, we're not the enemy of one another. We need each other to get it done.
Absolutely.
We're rarely in the position to, you sit down, babe, I got us, whether it's man or woman. Like, shit is high. Like, that's just not the conversations that we're having don't make any sense, but they are a direct, to me, relation to the fights that we are having unnecessarily and unrealistic. This is not normal. What's happening to us outside of here? Where do
I think you bring a lot of very accurate reasons why. I think your reason is the grand narrative. I think we also have to also think about the fact that because of what's happening out there, that we're fighting, like we're projecting what we want out there onto each other.
Yes.
Because if I feel, because I can't do anything about what's going on out there, then a part of me feels like I should get it from you.
Mm-hmm.
And if I
At
can't,
the very least,
if I can't get it from you, and I can't, then I'm frustrated now because I feel like I'm supposed to have this, and so I don't get respect or love there. I get performance, but here I don't want to perform. I want to just be, and you won't just let me be. You know, you have you expect me to perform, and you won't respect me, and you won't love me well, just in my being.
Yeah.
And so I think it's a projection, it's a disappointment, it's a frustration of where can I go to just that I'm just good enough, where I can just, where whatever goals, dreams, aspirations I have, they're not met with disappointment and roadblocks and whatever. When is somebody gonna care about me? I care about everything and everybody. When and so I think there's this just collective frustration. And then it's like, well, I'm not being heard. Well, I'm not being heard. Well, I'm not being heard, but I'm not being, so now it's like, now we have to go harder at each other. And then, like we said before, and now it's almost like at a place, or it was, I think we're moving, where now we were just holding it hostage.
Yeah.
Now I'm just not going to give you nothing. I'm just going to use you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use you, get what I want and go on. I think, again, now we're moving forward again, where we're saying, okay, this isn't working. We actually do need each other. Now we just got to figure out, how do we come together and both of us get what we need? Because I recognize I might need to make some adjustments, but I don't want to go back to a position where I feel like, again, where I'm being used. So how do I do that? Or I'm not being, maybe not used, but maybe I'm not being appreciated. I'm not being able to just be. So I think there's a lot of layers to it. I think it's a lot of layers, a lot of wounds.
Mm-hmm.
I read something the other day that said that DNA is so that in your DNA they have been able to somehow, I don't know how, but basically the trauma and the pain that your ancestors carry can be passed down through your DNA. So even though you didn't experience it,
you feel it. Yeah.
You still feel it. Mm-hmm. And because you feel it, it then forms how you deal with other people. Mm-hmm. So the amount as a people, I wonder how much of the collective suffering of our people is really just in us, that almost leads us to this position of constant defense with each other.
Come on and talk that stuff to me, when I like that, but it's the truth. It is that's science. That is science. It is, and they've said that it is absolutely what is a lot of the reasons why doctors who research, therapists and research mental health say that it is, and have begun with such huge initiatives to create space for Black people descendants of slaves, African Americans, blacks, the people that have been born here, that your grandma and grandpa, Paul, all of them that were slaves, that we should have therapy. It should be made available to us, that we should be doing more research into mental health for Black people specifically. What we encounter, how we move about this world from the time we open our eyes and breathe our first breath is inherently different than any other people. Period. It is undeniable. I don't care what world you're birthed into today. I don't care what color the spoon is that you get when you get here. It is in you and you cannot deny it. There's no amount of money that you can attain that is going to push that out of you, which is why we see so many of our folks who get money and they still wild a little bit because it is in us. Like there's another level that we have got to be willing and honest to address. Okay. And I think that is, yes, we have to fight somebody. You can't rip families apart who were built on community and love and true kinship. And our whole existence is built on, I see you, you see me, I live for you, you live for me. This is what we do. And like you just in a morning by lunch, I never see you again.
Right.
My babies, my husband, my wife, my mom and them, all of my people, my language, my God, my everything gone. And just because we dress cute and we got the language and we've managed to mesh, that does not go away. And it's not going to make for the easiest, breeziest relationships out the gate. And then you add real time mess to it. We have to understand, until we're honest enough that we're not okay collectively, we're going to remain not okay collectively. I don't care how many groups of us, women, educated, hood, street, whatever. I don't care how we do it in our little bubbles. We got to do it we got to come together with it, or it's going to always be this.
But
yeah. We are not the enemy.
I think in the moment, the more we can remember that, the better.
Our love is the answer, which is why they keep pulling it apart the way they do. That's why they don't want it to happen the way that it's why. Which is why I don't just completely dismiss what they say about our imagery. There is truth to that. But I don't think this is that. This is success. This is it. But we can't see that.
I think, like I said, I think we're starting to. I think we're still working through some things. And we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
I think we are on the right path. I do agree. It does get frustrating at times, but as frustrating as it is, I can say that I saw way more people kind of pushing against some of these more recent conversations, not just this one, but just kind of challenging a little bit, going, you sure? Like, you sure?
I'm gonna tell you, look, when I posted that Rihanna thing, the Rihanna picture, I was like, I guess I got the wrong timeline to be having this, because I was looking for some controversy, and I'm like, I said either they lying or we done grew.
Yeah, we've grown some, because I participated in, I think, 2 other threads in 2 different spaces, and that was not the case. They were decent conversations, but at the same time, to your point of the culmination of our particular audience, it was definitely a difference. And I was pleasantly surprised with our audience for sure. But even in those other spaces, I've been able to see that there's a different level. And I was surprised by even some of the people who were like, what? No, I would usually, and they would admit, like, usually I would be all for this, but this don't seem like that, and I love that we're getting a little more clear about it, not just going with the headlines and, that too. We're not on the gotcha as much as we used to be. We're actually looking through, because I'm like, I pulled up the one with, the images with all the things. I was like, first of all, Vogue has like a branch in every country. So every country's covers are going to look different. And I'm pulling the collage wasn't like, and this is British Vogue. Like this isn't even like US Vogue. This is British Vogue that this is even being talked about. So it's just so interesting. But like all of the rationale, and then in one of the covers, the chick was a model. She wasn't even the man's woman. Like the whole story was about him that time. Like she don't even belong to him. But just because they was shoulder to shoulder, it was okay. Like what? That was like, so this doesn't
he was not in the feminine position. I want to be like, it's a bunch of other stuff that's effeminizing men, and that ain't it. But
that's not it. That's not it. That's not it.
So, anyway, you got anything else? I'm tired. Oh my God, I'm tired. I'm about to go to sleep.
I hear you. I saw you. You did a me today. You was doing that. You pulled a me today with the
like 3 times.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
Like 3 times. I didn't yawn.
See, I gave you the grace that you give me. I'll let you live. But since you called out that you was tired, I thought I'd bring up that I caught that. But no, I don't really. I don't have much else. This was I've honestly talked enough on the second half, which I knew I would. This was where I was going to get all of my vocal cords worked today. I already knew. That's why I was like, okay. But I just hope that I know that we've had a few that have been on listening, but I think between the two of us tonight, we've given a different perspective on not only just these particular topics, but it's a little more of a background. I hope you would want to look into some of what we've talked about a little bit more. Find out ways that you could try and ease intimacy into some of your closer relationships. It doesn't always have to be the relationship, but like your loved ones, your people have different levels of intimacy that they need as well to stay connected to you. Intimacy is about connection. And I think, but before we are comfortable with connecting with anyone else, you have to feel strong in who you are. So that first connection has to be back with you, not the feed, the algorithm, the trends, the insights, the whatever the things are with you. Because other than that, you are literally an avatar out here. What we doing? As soon as we get a software update, you got to update who you are. You good. Let your upgrades be at your leisure. Because this right here, we see is crazy. Like, if I ain't search Wynn's post, I don't see them if I ain't tagged. Because that's algorithm. That's my boy. Why am I not seeing Wynn? You know what I mean? Like, reset your algorithm to what you need and see.
Yep.
That's what I got.
All right, y'all. Good. This is really good conversation tonight. Mm-hmm. I hope, as always, you use these conversations as ways to take them back into your friend circle, your relationship, and ask the question. Hey, is our intimacy working? Hey, what are your thoughts on this? Hey, how can we add this to our relationship and really do the work? These conversations are designed to make the work easier because the work is the work. And so if we can help you make it easier, or to think about yourself and your reactions, your responses or lack of responses sometimes, to think about those in a different way to how they might affect your partner, then we've done our job. I have exponentially grown because of these conversations, and I hope you have too. Yeah.
I feel like I should have some letters behind my name. I should have lots of hours on somebody's couch, and then I also feel like there should be a couple letters behind my name at the same time. It's been a lot. Yeah. Lots of stretch.
Mm-hmm. A lot of stretch. A lot of, usually when I leave, I'm like as tired as I am, it's probably gonna take me an hour to fall asleep.
Yeah.
Because I had so much on my mind to just think about, man, I wonder, like, even though we get to lead these conversations, these are actually conversations that we process for our own lives too. So it's like, man,
Yeah.
I do that well.
Mhm.
I do that well. I probably did that. Should have did. Man, when Q said that, ooh, I was like, ooh, that's me. Oh.
Same.
Oh.
Again, if our inbox were to ever be leaked, Lord, have all of the mercy and grace on these two souls, okay? Trust us when we say we do deep dives into
Yeah.
the things we say. We are not just up here, yum, 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 yum.
It's work. It's
What
work.
we
We
do.
work.
It's
Like,
not what we do.
we work.
Mm.
People like, y'all, yes, we work. Like we having these conversations for real. Because there's no point in like there's we ain't perfect.
No.
So like how do we yeah, we're just trying to get better. Like how do we get better? How do we learn? And I think I'll say this too. One of the things I like is like I have a circle of people who like they'll either watch or see certain parts of the show, and that'll even lead us into conversation. Like, I don't like this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yeah, but and we'll have them conversations, and so they help even shape.
Oh, I can imagine what you hear about what you don't like is said on this show.
Well, usually they're talking about me badly, actually, because
yeah, y'all have a weird. If you're talking about the chat, I know about you. Y'all have a weird way of loving on each other, but it's y'all's way, so it works.
We talk bad about each other, but that's how we are. So, but yeah. So,
again, that's y'all's intimacy. That's y'all's level. That's how y'all do it.
We're talking crazy. We don't like each other. So, all right. Next Tuesday we'll be back. Another good show.
Y'all throw this one in the group chat. Go on and grab this link and put that one in the chat. And
have these conversations. Have these conversations, y'all. Y'all, we appreciate you, Mom. Appreciate you, Mike. Good to have you back, Mike. You've been good. I was coming to find Mike if I didn't see Mike tonight because I noticed he hadn't been here. So definitely good to
see you, honey.
Yep, KG, Dre, everybody else. Good to see y'all. Y'all will be back next week. I'm not gonna play the music because clearly something is wrong with the music, and I'm not about to worry about it. But y'all have a good night. We'll see y'all later.
See ya.
Peace.